Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 2019-2020 celebration to honor our educational support professionals and our teachers of the year. Now, as you know, normally we're together in the high school enjoying incredible food and even more incredible company. And we bring each of the staff members up one by one to share just a bit of what makes them so special. Now, COVID may have modified how we can celebrate our incredible staff, but it will never modify how we feel about our staff. These amazing educators who they are as individuals and what they represent to our district and to our profession, they are at the core of what makes BRRSD such an amazing district. Even with this pandemic, there was no doubt that we wanted to hold this event in whatever form that we could, because just like with our students, quarantine should never stop us from honoring the achievements of our staff. Couple quick thank yous to Terry Brown and Luann McGee. I hope you're out there in cyberspace for all the background work that you do. Thank you so much for helping to put this event on in the form that it is. I want to highlight Mr. Andres Ospina, who is like our district's version of the CIA, where his victories and contributions often go unbelievably unknown, but he's always there in the background, making everything work. I mean, normally on a day-to-day basis, he's out there helping us all be better, but under distance learning, in all honesty, he's the one making all of our work possible. So big thanks to Andres as he is managing this YouTube live stream. Finally, one other big thank you to Miss Suzanne Calabro, an unsung hero in the district. She leads the work for this event, like so much of the work that goes on in the district. And while she never asks for thanks, in fact, she often tries to avoid both gratitude and praise, she makes this district a more effective, more fun, and honestly, just an overall brighter place to be. So Suzanne, thank you for all you're doing. I want to thank all of our principals and supervisors, administrators across the district for all they do each and every day. I want to thank the BREA for their constant support of our staff and their collaboration as we work together to do what's best for kids. And I certainly want to thank the Board of Education for ensuring that we're able to attract and retain the best there is. And you will see as we talk about the honorees tonight that this is not hyperbole. They honestly are the best that you will find at what they do. I will share some closing remarks when all is said and done. But for now, I want to thank Ms. Laura Kress, the president of the BREA, for her longstanding commitment to this district's mission and to every staff member that works in our schools and offices. And I'd like to invite Laura to come up to the podium, which under COVID involves unmuting her camera and her microphone and say a few words. So, Ms. Kress.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Russ. I certainly hope everyone is staying safe and healthy during this new reality we are living in. Before I address this year's recipients, I want to take a minute to thank every BREA member for carrying out your roles and responsibilities during this with the utmost professionalism during a pandemic. In addition, over the last 8 weeks, I have witnessed the entire staff, including supervisors, principals, assistant superintendents, and the superintendent and the Board of Ed come together to serve the students and families of Bridgewater in so many ways. We are feeding families, teaching and guiding both students and their parents at times, making sure the business of the district is maintained, including attendance, payroll, special services, testing coordination, buildings and grounds, the technology department, the front offices, and the list goes on. This level of dedication and professionalism demonstrates that anything is possible when we work together. As I was writing this, it also occurred to me that the collective we are setting quite the example for our students. They're witnessing firsthand how much we care about them, and no matter what happens, they can count on us for guidance and stability as we navigate through these uncharted waters. It is an honor to be part of this team. So to the recipients, receiving one of these awards means you are being recognized by your peers for your exceptional contribution to the students, families, and staff of the Bridgewater-Raritan School District. I am amazed each year as I listen to the principals discuss how every day each one of you goes above and beyond for the students that you serve. This year especially, each of you reinforced the important role we play in the lives of our students and society as a whole. Each of you have and continue to go above and beyond to meet the needs of the students you serve. They leave you each day learning something new, but more importantly, knowing that you have their best interest at heart. As I reviewed the list of recipients this year, I was not in the least bit surprised to see the names on that list. Some of you I know personally, some professionally, and some both, and can speak about your dedication to the Bridgewater-Raritan School District. Congratulations to all of you. It is an honor to be your colleague as well as your president. So before I close, I'm trying to keep this brief. Before I close, I do need to take a minute, and I want to thank Russ for his time in Bridgewater-Raritan, and I want to wish him the best of luck as he moves on to the next step of his journey. And we could not have asked for a better leader during this time period. Russ, I want everybody to know you are working tirelessly, and I wanted to recognize you for all that you are doing to make this go as smoothly as possible. Running a district this size is a monumental task, let alone under the conditions we're working now. So good luck, Russ, and thanks for all you've done. I'd also in addition, you have helped us grow as a district, and I want you to know you leave here. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having a hard time talking right now. So in addition, you have helped us grow as a district, and I want you to leave here knowing it is appreciated. So good luck, Russ. Sorry I stumbled over that last sentence.
Thanks, Laura. I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate the difficulty for all of us talking through the camera, but I'm thrilled that you were able to be here as always, and thank you for your constant collaboration. I have to say, as superintendent, I also see more than most how much the members of the Board of Education do as unpaid elected volunteers for this district. They care deeply for the students, their families, and the entire BR community. And I can tell you from the conversations I've had with them since my first day, they care deeply for the staff who work with our students every single day. Saying that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Jackie Barlow, President of the BR Board of Education, to share her thoughts on our celebration and our honorees. Ms. Barlow.
Thank you, Russ. Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to be here on behalf of the Board of Education in recognition of our teachers and educational support specialists of the year from each of our schools, and to congratulate you on this major achievement. Even with great training, resources, and curriculum, in the end, it is your efforts in and out of the classroom that make or break the overall educational experience of our students. I want to express my personal appreciation and the BOE's appreciation for all that each you do each and every day for the children of our district to create a stimulating and caring educational experience. In these unprecedented times of distance learning, we all have a renewed understanding of the challenging work that you do every day. Thank you for not just fulfilling some of the most important jobs for society, but doing it at the top of your field. Wishing you and your families best wishes and the best of health. Thank you. Russ, back to you.
Thank you, Jackie. And I echo all of those sentiments. Thank you so much for being a part of this evening. Now to get down to the heart of the matter and what you've all been waiting for. I will be introducing our building principals, who will in turn each share with us their educational support professional and teacher of the year. If you're wondering about the order, we move up the grade levels and alphabetically by building. And so without any other further ado, let's get to the stars of the show, our honorees, by starting with the principal of Adamsville School and, shameless plug, ensemble performer in BR the World, Dr. James Singalisi. James.
Thank you. And I'd like to start with announcing Adamsville's Educational Specialist of the Year, Miss Lindsay Blake. Lindsay Blake has served the students of Adamsville Primary School for the last 2 years. She immediately demonstrated exemplary job performance in her role as school counselor and is highly skilled in planning, organizing, communicating, and working with all the members of the school community. An Adamsville teacher describes Lindsay's presence by stating, "From the day she came in, Lindsay has brought so much joy and kindness to both the students and faculty. It is her mission to ensure that every person she meets leaves school with a smile on their face. She constantly skips her own lunch to support others and will be the first person available when a teacher or parent needs extra help due to a child's concern. Her willingness to listen, ability to problem solve, and most importantly, her calm and caring demeanor is something special. Lindsay is an essential element in the effective and efficient operation of our school. Her knowledge, work ethic, and heartfelt demeanor brings the Adamsville community together as a family. For just one example, Lindsay coordinates students and families to receive meals on the weekends and summer vacations by collaborating with local community members and organizations to ensure that our neediest students are taken care of. As stated by another colleague, her sincere caring and concern and her willingness to lend a helping hand not only contributes to a more collaborative work environment, but also provides a subtle reminder that we can all take a few minutes out of our day to take care of one another. I speak on behalf of everyone at Adamsville when I say that Lindsay Blake has a heart of gold. Mrs. Blake is deserving and worthy recipient of the Educational Service Provider of the Year Award. Congratulations, Mrs. Blake. And now for Adamsville's Governor Educator of the Year Award to Miss Marity Gamoso. With pride and admiration, the Adamsville staff recognizes Marity Gamoso as a Teacher of the Year. A professional of 16 years, she goes above and beyond to ensure that each of her students feels special and successful. Her style of teaching incorporates diverse instructional techniques and lessons, fosters understanding among the different types of learners, and brings out the best in her students and colleagues. She takes pride in student accomplishments and continuously searches for ways to support and challenge them. She exemplifies what one teacher can do to make a difference. To gain a better glimpse into Marity and how she works with her students, this actually comes from her. All kids can read. They may not get through a page in Pete the Cat or be able to read a single word in any story for that matter, but nevertheless, they can read. When you smile, they read your approval. Roll your eyes and they read your annoyance. When you laugh, they read your happiness. Take a deep sigh and they read your frustration. Make eye contact with a child and they read you're interested. As I said, kids can read. These kinds of messages aren't vocalized, but they can have just a thunderous of an effect, both positive or negative. Educators and parents alike have to be aware of the influence these subtle messages can have on our children. They even have the potential to be more damaging because they often occur unknowingly and therefore more frequently, especially on a rough day. If we try to be mindful of our gestures and our reactions on a daily basis, it will become habitual. The next time you're with a child, perhaps even your own, smile often, laugh abundantly, make eye contact as if they are the only person that exists. Do so, and you will be that page in a novel, a poem, a quote, or maybe just the word that reads love. For some children, it is the only word that matters. Marity Gamoso puts students before herself. She is the rare educational professional that has mastered a consideration for the emotional needs of students and is a nurturing force for the growth of all Adamsville students and faculty. So thank you, Marity, and congratulations. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Dr. Singalisi. Moving right along to Bradley Gardens and a BR the World soloist, Mrs. Barbara Binford. Barbara, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Russ. Congratulations to all of the award winners, and I hope that everybody is doing well. Today, I have the privilege of recognizing an outstanding teacher assistant in the field, Mrs. Joanne Flora. Miss Flora works as an assistant in our building, serving our preschool population. She's been a teaching assistant in the Applied Behavioral Analysis program for 17 years. From the morning throughout the day, you can witness Miss Flora walking her students hand in hand all across the building. You can see in those moments how much she cares for the student. Observing her working with the students in the classroom is even more heartwarming as she helps them discover the creative curriculum, learn about letters, numbers, and of course, playing with peers. Miss Flora works in a room full of wonder, engagement, and singing, lots of singing. She draws on an expansive tool belt of strategies to support our students in accessing the wonders of the world. Aside from her tremendous work with the students, she services the school as a flexible and positive staff member, always willing to lend a hand and support the initiatives of the building. She is an invaluable member of our preschool team and works collaboratively with all of the adults in the room. She is experienced, and others lean on her wisdom and wealth of knowledge. In fact, she extended her knowledge and became a registered behavior technician on her own time, completing the paperwork and examination. Ms. Flora's peers comment on how she can rise to any challenge, overcome adversity, and be a beacon of professionalism. Her passion for working with students extends beyond our Bridgewater Raritan Day, as she delivers home therapy to children as well. Even on the weekends, she can be found running social skills groups to allow children the opportunity to work with peers, engage in conversation, and play. In a nomination, one colleague wrote, "Joanne inspires me to be a better educator because her dedication raises the expectation for our classroom performance. And for that, we are happy to raise Mrs. Flora up to this honor." Congratulations, Ms. Flora. And moving on to our Governor Educator Award, or Teacher of the Year. A teacher has two jobs: fill young minds with knowledge, yes, but more importantly, give those minds a compass so that knowledge doesn't go to waste. For those of you that don't know, that's a quote from the movie Mr. Holland's Opus. It is a movie that has always resonated with me. So as fate would have it, 5 years ago, I had an opening for a music teacher at Bradley Gardens, and Mr. Alex Holland applied and interviewed. And after I watched him interact with the students in a demonstration lesson, I knew he was exactly what our school was searching for. We were gifted with our own Mr. Holland. I feel so proud and honored to present him as the Bradley Gardens Teacher of the Year. Mr. Holland is loved in our building by the students and the staff. Every month, he partners with me for the school-wide meeting. He prepares students in grade levels, preschool through 4th, to showcase something that they've been learning in his music class. Students act out, dance, sing, and play instruments for their peers. He commands their attention with the motion and sound of a roller coaster. Mr. Holland strives for ways to improve upon his craft. He spends his days observing colleagues, preps visiting rooms to bond with the students, and time away from school to prepare lessons that were developmentally appropriate for our 3-year-olds. His service to the school district is tremendous, as he prepares our 4th graders for a spring concert while simultaneously collaborating with pre-K and K for graduation songs, 2nd grade for a culture fair, and 1st grade for their poetry day, which makes for a very busy spring. Mr. Holland, like the music he teaches, is inspiring, uplifting, and rhythmic. Mr. Holland writes, "To me, every person has the ability to be creative and expressive. As an educator, I strive to have each one of my students find a better understanding of who they are through music. Growing up, I found myself most comfortable in my shell by being creative and helping others. When I was younger, my mother always told me to do my best, and that's all people can ask from you. My colleagues throughout my career have been a constant source of inspiration and are a huge reason why I push myself to try new things and always work harder at my craft. Teaching has always brought great joy, and to see my students grow each year fills me with such joy and enthusiasm. It is for them I come to work every day and do the best I can." And we can only hope that Bradley Gardens holds the melodies and notes of your opus, Mr. Holland. Congratulations. Back to you, Mr. Lazovic.
Thank you, Mrs. Binford. And again, Mr. Holland, another BR the World soloist. So thank you for that. Moving to Crim School, a BR the World ensemble performer, Principal Miss Kelly Ann Tenkate. Kelly.
Thank you, Russ. With pride and admiration, the Crim Primary School staff recognizes Lindsay D. Filippo as Educational Services Professional of the Year. An educational professional of 16 years, 11 within the Bridgewater Raritan Regional School District, Lindsay has consistently demonstrated exemplary job performance in her role as an LDTC. Lindsay is an absolutely essential element in the effective and efficient operation of Crim School, and her knowledge and experience are a tremendous resource of information and expertise to not only families, but staff, students, and administration. Mrs. Lindsay D. Filippo exemplifies professionalism with families, care for students, and camaraderie among her colleagues. Mrs. D. Filippo is respectful with parents that she works with, engages and listens to her students, and goes the extra mile for her coworkers. If there is a need in the building, Mrs. D. Filippo is always willing to help in any capacity. Mrs. D. Filippo regularly supports classroom staff at Crim School to come up with action plans and interventions to ensure individual success and to meet unique learning needs. Mrs. D. Filippo understands child development, knows the students on her caseload, and puts students first. When working with Mrs. D. Filippo, students feel heard and understood. Mrs. D. Filippo is committed to helping students reach their full potential. Aside from her role as a teacher and learning consultant, Mrs. D. Filippo volunteers for numerous committees and is a true team player in our Crim School community. Lindsay heads the Crim volleyball team and is a part of the Field Day Committee, Crim Cares, Crim Sunshine, Autism Awareness, Intervention and Referral Services, the Wellness Committee, and the Scheduling Committee. There are not many people willing to put themselves out for others and to take on jobs when it is inconvenient or not ideal. Mrs. D. Filippo makes a difference in the Crim community, and we are proud to have the opportunity to endorse her as our 2019-2020 Educational Services Professional of the Year. Mrs. D. Filippo states, "My goal as a member of the Child Study Team is to build a rapport with families to help them understand the special education processes and procedures. I also pride myself on being an approachable resource to all teachers to provide strategies for struggling learners. My 11 years of teaching experience in the district has afforded me the opportunity to implement curriculum across the primary grades and develop effective modifications, accommodations, and instructional strategies to provide recommendations for teachers in order to help meet the needs of students across a variety of settings. I love working with teachers, getting to know the students on my caseload, and the students undergoing child study team evaluations to make recommendations and brainstorm ideas to help all children meet their potential. My hope is to reinforce a love of learning and a love of school, knowing that the adults around them are there to help. Congratulations and thank you, Lindsay." Moving on to Crim's Teacher of the Year. With pride and admiration, the Crim Primary School staff recognizes Avani Morales as Teacher of the Year. An educational professional of 15 years within the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District, Avani has the pedagogical ability to successfully execute the responsibilities of a fourth grade teacher. She incorporates diverse instructional techniques in lessons, fosters understanding among different types of learners, and brings out the best in both students and colleagues. Avani takes pride in student accomplishments and continuously searches for ways to support and challenge them. Mrs. Avani Morales is a dedicated and inspirational teacher with a constant desire to make her classroom a place for all learners to achieve. Mrs. Morales recognizes the need for a diverse range of approaches to reach students of all academic abilities, learning styles, and backgrounds. Mrs. Morales is reflective and considers the whole child when planning and executing lessons. Students in Mrs. Morales' class are exposed to a world outside of Bridgewater through the integration of rich literature, sharing of her own personal experiences, and the hands-on activities she develops. Mrs. Morales has taken on many leadership roles during her time at Crim School, including union representative, grade level representative, Earth Club committee chair, multicultural committee chair, Red Ribbon Week committee member, Crim Cares committee member, Read Across America committee chair, and staff volleyball team member. Mrs. Morales has also been an active participant in curriculum development and works collaboratively with other teachers to ensure understanding of curricular goals. Mrs. Morales has served as a mentor to several student teachers and has worked effectively with multiple special education teachers in a co-teaching setting to meet the needs of a wide range of learners in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. Mrs. Morales' desire for professional growth has made a meaningful impact on Crim School. We are proud to have the opportunity to endorse her as our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year. Avani states, "Why am I doing this and how is it good for children? Those are the two questions that drive my instruction day in and day out. My students know that when they walk through the door, they are in a safe place where their opinions are valued and asking questions is expected. No matter where they are in their journey of learning, there is no ceiling on what they can accomplish. My students know that what they learn inside these walls has a purpose in the real world. When they can connect concepts to their lives, they see the importance of the material. I strive to integrate culturally responsive teaching methods into every aspect of my classroom. Being a reader, writer, mathematician, scientist, and historian are important, but the bigger picture is to be a culturally competent human who can be critical, ask questions, and affect change in our world. Congratulations and thank you, Mrs. Morales." Russ, back to you.
Thank you, Ms. Tenkate. And as we move on to Hamilton School, the hits just keep on coming with another undiscovered talent, showing off his wares in BR the World as a soloist, Mr. Daniel Fonder. Mr. Fonder.
Thank you very much. First, on behalf of Hamilton School, I wanted to congratulate all of the recipients. It's such a great honor, and as Ms. Kress said, it's a wonderful school district, and so to be recognized by other great teachers is really quite an accomplishment. I'd like to start off with our Educational Services Professional of the Year. With admiration, the Hamilton staff recognizes Mrs. Marie Murray, our Educational Services Professional of the Year for 2019-2020. She's worked as a member of the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District for the past 20 years. For the last 10 years, she's worked as an intervention specialist at Hamilton Primary School. In this position, she's had a positive impact on the total school program as she works with identified students on specific content areas, as well as with her colleagues to build a supportive school climate for our students. Mrs. Murray participates as a member of a school and district teams that support students with learning needs. At Hamilton School, she has made a difference in the lives of hundreds of children by supporting their learning through targeted intervention. As she builds their skills, she develops relationships and student confidence. Students enjoy Mrs. Murray's friendly personality and her well-organized instruction that gives them the tools to be successful in their classrooms. The students work hard and make great progress toward their individualized learning targets. Mrs. Murray serves as a wonderful resource for parents and colleagues as well. She partners with parents and guardians to build a strong educational team that supports our learners. She communicates in a way that's honest, sensitive to the parents, and which meets the needs of the children. Similarly, Mrs. Murray serves as a resource for teachers as she assists staff in data analysis by offering individual assistance to teachers so they can fully understand the data. Beyond academics, Mrs. Murray also participates in school and PTO initiatives. Most notably, this includes offering after-school enrichments for students through the PTO's Tiger Club program. When working with students, meeting with parents, or providing information to staff, Mrs. Murray has a friendly and caring demeanor. She always strives to be an example of professionalism through her words and her actions. In her own words, Mrs. Murray shares, "As a teacher, I am devoted to helping children learn to read and fostering their love of learning. I want my students to experience the same excitement I felt as a child when I learned to read. Suddenly, a whole new world was open to me. My first teaching job was as a reading recovery teacher, working with first graders who were struggling with early literacy skills. Marie Clay, founder of the Reading Recovery Program, emphasized the idea of, quote, different paths to common outcomes, end quote. Those words are the cornerstone of my philosophy about education. I believe that all of my students are capable of learning and achieving great things, as long as I lead them down the correct path. Sometimes the path is long and winding, but I don't give up on them or let them give up on themselves. One of my favorite moments is when a student who once said, "I don't know how to read," now asks, "Can I take more books home?" I'm lucky that my job as an intervention specialist allows me to provide these different paths to learning. I'm also grateful to my wonderful colleagues at Hamilton School who partner with me to help children grow and succeed. We're also grateful for you, Marie. Mrs. Murray is a dedicated intervention specialist and a caring professional who is well deserving of this honor. She finds ways to provide our students with the foundational literacy skills they will need in order to be successful in school and in life. Congratulations and thank you. I'd now like to switch to our Teacher of the Year. On behalf of the Hamilton School staff, I'd like to congratulate our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Hillary Raska. Mrs. Raska has been a teacher for 8 years, with the last 7 years in the Bridgewater-Raritan School District. Mrs. Raska is a dedicated professional who's committed to her third grade students by ensuring that she creates a learning environment that is challenging and memorable. Mrs. Raska is known for her small group instruction and personalized approach as she focuses on the needs of the individual learners in her classroom. This individualized instruction allows her students to make excellent progress throughout their third grade year as they take ownership of their learning. In addition to her success in the classroom, Mrs. Raska also finds leadership opportunities through different school initiatives. In her classroom, she continually challenges herself to find new and meaningful ways to incorporate technology to support and to extend learning outcomes. She then shares her knowledge and her success with colleagues on her grade level team, in our school, and across the district through one-on-one coaching and by offering professional development sessions on topics related to the infusion of technology in the classroom. Her teaching practice always supports highly effective instructional practices as measured by the teaching framework and student outcomes. She is a trusted colleague who is respected by her peers for her excellence in teaching, as well as her willingness to support other teachers as they incorporate new technology and best practices into their classrooms. Mrs. Raska also finds ways to use her interests and talents to make a difference in our school community. She and a colleague created a volunteer opportunity for themselves and other school staff members by starting a Girls on the Run running club for third and fourth grade students. Mrs. Raska and other staff members coordinate with Girls on the Run to organize the club, and they work as volunteers with the students to practice for a culminating 5K race at a local park. She also serves as the school's science coordinator and works with a colleague to support science instruction and science opportunities for students. I applaud Mrs. Raska for all that she has accomplished. I look forward to the ways in which she will continue to make a difference for Hamilton School and the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District. In her own words, Mrs. Raska reflects by saying, "I'm lucky to come to a job every day that I enjoy. When I come to Hamilton School, I know that I'm welcome, and I know that what I say and do matter here. It is this same feeling that I hope my students feel when they enter my classroom. I strive to create a warm and welcoming environment where students engage in learning through conversation and hands-on exploration. I take the time to get to know my students on a personal level and ask them about their interests, hobbies, and family life. By getting to know my students as individuals, I feel that I am not only able to earn their trust and respect, I'm able to set high expectations and help them discover the fun in learning. My success in the classroom is only possible with the support and knowledge of my co-teacher and my colleagues who continue to motivate me to be the best that I can be. I'm grateful for the years I've spent teaching in Bridgewater, and I look forward to the memories that will be created in the future." At Hamilton School, we feel the same, as Mrs. Raska motivates us to be the best we can be as well. She is a positive influence in her students' lives and works to build strong school community through her work inside her classroom and beyond her classroom's walls. Her students appreciate the way in which Mrs. Raska engages each of them on a personal level to guide them as learners. Hillary Raska is well deserving of this special recognition. Congratulations and thank you. And Russell, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Fonder. As we move to JFK School and the principal there, I have tried unsuccessfully every year to get Mr. Walsh to give us a nice little guitar solo for an interlude. And I know it's not going to happen this year, but maybe sometime even after me, Mr. Walsh, just to share your skills with us. Mr. Joe Walsh, Principal, JFK School.
Thank you, Russ. And I'd like to congratulate all of our award winners sincerely. And it's my great pleasure and privilege to recognize the Educational Services Professional Award recipient from John F. Kennedy School, Mrs. Catherine Kirshner. Mrs. Kirshner has been teaching for 23 years and has taught in the Bridgewater-Raritan School District for 21 years. She's made a significant and meaningful contribution to our John F. Kennedy School community. Mrs. Kirshner is an exceptionally skilled intervention specialist, and her passion and dedication to the learning and growth of each of her students is demonstrated on a daily basis. She encourages and inspires each of her students to believe in themselves and their ability to grow and succeed. Mrs. Kirshner's kind, supportive approach creates a warm, risk-taking environment where students build confidence while striving to reach their goals. Mrs. Kirshner actively participates in our professional community, both inside and outside of the classroom. She's volunteered for a variety of PTO and school events and generously participated in and helped organize our annual giving tree, donating a variety of clothing for students and families in need. She also volunteers her time for the annual community breakfast, our annual wellness night, and serves as a substitute for our extended day program. As a member of our mindfulness leadership team, Mrs. Kirshner is a true supporter of our school goals related to mindfulness and the social emotional learning of all of our students. She voluntarily gives many hours of her own time to develop and implement our mindfulness initiatives and promote the importance of social and emotional skills in support of the health and wellness of our students, staff, and school community. Mrs. Kirshner has earned the respect and admiration of students, parents, administrators, and colleagues through her high degree of professionalism, competence, kindness, and commitment to her students. She has been and continues to be a true asset to all the members of our JFK community and is a most deserving recipient of the Educational Services Professional Award. Congratulations to Mrs. Catherine Kirshner. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce from John F. Kennedy School our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Claudia Brown. Mrs. Brown has been teaching for 15 years in the Bridgewater-Raritan School District. Mrs. Brown is an exceptionally talented and dedicated art teacher who inspires her students each day, demonstrates leadership within our school and district, and is a true innovator both in and outside of the classroom. Mrs. Brown is a highly motivated and committed to the success of each of her students, encouraging and inspiring her students to express themselves and their creativity through a variety of highly engaging art projects while learning about many and varied artists' work, important art concepts and principles, and so much more. She has also led the implementation of an art literacy program, facilitated in collaboration with classroom teachers to support our ELL students in experiencing success in writing. Mrs. Brown is a true example of a lifelong learner, as she is currently pursuing her doctorate in positive leadership from Abilene Christian University. In addition, she serves and supports her colleague as the Chief Association Representative for the BREA, representing John F. Kennedy School teachers and staff. As a member of our mindfulness leadership team, Mrs. Brown is a true supporter of our school goals as well, related to mindfulness and the social emotional learning of all of our students. She voluntarily gives many hours of her own time to develop and implement our mindfulness initiatives and promote the importance of social emotional skills in support of the health and wellness of our students, staff, and school community. In her own words, Mrs. Brown states, "Hearing the oohs and ahs of 5-year-olds as I show them what happens when blue mixes with yellow. Seeing the expression on the face of a second grader when I take their clay sculpture out of the kiln, watching a fourth grader put the finishing touches on his landscape painting. These are just a few of the joys of being a primary school art teacher. Every day, I get to watch children between the ages of 4 and 10 create beautiful expressions of who they are. Along with interesting projects and varied materials, I do my best to provide a safe place where they are encouraged to take risks, explore ideas, and embrace their creativity. In my art room, students learn more than just art history and art techniques. I teach them how to think critically, how to ask meaningful questions, how to judge their own work, how to turn their mistakes into opportunities, how to be mindful, how to be empathetic, and how to be kind. Every day, I have the honor and privilege to work with children, helping them to uncover their talents and gifts, helping them to understand the power they have to influence their own thinking and behavior, and most importantly, helping them to step into their brilliance in whatever form that takes. Someone once said, "It's a beautiful thing when a career and a passion come together." I'm sure it was a teacher. We are proud to recognize Mrs. Claudia Brown as our Teacher of the Year, as she is most deserving of this honor. Russ, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. I now move across 22 and to the always dynamic Mr. Matthew Lembo, principal of Milltown School. Matt, floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. I certainly hope you are well and finding the blessings in these challenges. Special congratulations to all of the award winners. I have the honor and privilege to first speak on behalf of Mrs. Maria Alvarez. She is our Ed Services Professional Award winner. She began her career in our school district as a cafeteria play assistant in 2000 and became a special ed assistant in 2004. And let me state here now clearly that the title doesn't truly reflect who she is and what she does, as I'm sure Miss P and all staff members who have ever worked with her would testify. She is like having another teacher in the classroom. Since her time as an assistant, she has worked in several primary schools and has been at Milltown and one of the leaders of our autism program. This year, she continued to participate in the Buddy basketball program. And as a result of doing that, she continued to get to know all of the children in our school, not just those in her classroom, and they truly loved seeing her. Additionally, Mrs. Alvarez welcomed and helped train several new assistants in the classroom. Those of you who know anything about the autism program, just like many other programs, it comes with its own challenges. In this case, Maria was, again, like having another teacher in the room, and worked side by side with the classroom teacher to ensure all new staff were welcomed and trained in the classroom. The team effectively managed several challenging behaviors, remaining vigilant at all times, always completely focused on the needs of the children. Mrs. Alvarez has wonderful perspective and insights, and our school can always benefit from her ideas. This year, she continued to build relationships with the staff. She is a true mountain lion and has become part of the identity of who we are at Milltown. Alvarez has been extremely dedicated to the students in her class. The bottom line, and I say this unequivocally and with true passion, she will do anything for anyone at any time. She manages personal situations and professional without skipping a beat. She epitomizes everything that it means to put kids first. Congratulations, Maria. This is very, very well deserved, and I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you soon. Now I have the honor of introducing the other Alvarez sister, we affectionately call them. They are not sisters, but congratulations to Meredith Alvarez. She is our Teacher of the Year, and despite that prestigious title, it doesn't do justice to everything that Meredith does. I will try to do that and capture it both in comments that I've made, but also in quotes from colleagues and herself as well. Mrs. Alvarez performs her duties and fulfills all responsibilities without hesitation. She does so in support of children and colleagues. In all areas of the curricular, she ensures she is thoroughly prepared with detailed plans and thinking about what it is that her children need. She has spent a lot of time working on social studies curriculum this year, as this was a new content area for all teachers. She plans with her students in mind, differentiating for all at all times. This was especially effective this year as she welcomed co-teacher Robin into her classroom and did so as if these two had been co-teaching for years and years, and this was their first year together, and they've done a wonderful job. One step into Mrs. Alvarez's classroom, and you can feel the warmth and sense of community. She's extremely passionate and enthusiastic and exudes this in all interactions with the children. She holds high expectations for the students, and likewise, they try everything in their power to meet them. And interestingly, like with many teachers, once the children leave Meredith after first grade, they remain her children. They stop by and see her in second grade, in third grade, and in fourth grade. All the while she's encouraging them, and they continue to work hard to meet her expectations even after they leave her room. In all ways, Mrs. Alvarez is a consummate professional. She collaborates with her colleagues, but is also a leader amongst them. And those of you know that's not always an easy balance to strike. She is intimately aware of the content that she's teaching and is able to communicate that in a collaborative way with others so that they can receive her support. And that gift of having the content knowledge and being able to communicate it to others is truly something special. Meredith really has helped to build our STEAM program from the ground up. She has done so this year and for the last several years with Mona Hamby, and together they have built a sensory garden and a STEAM lab. They're involved with planting and really giving our children the kinds of experience that go above and beyond what is typical in an elementary school classroom. Mrs. Alvarez states, "Ever since completing my student teaching at Milltown, I knew I wanted to be part of a school culture that fosters collaboration, supports teachers, and cares about its students and families. I'm very fortunate to have such incredible colleagues and supportive administration that have helped encourage my development as an educator and a professional. I view my classroom as an engaging, supportive environment where all students should feel loved, valued, safe, and be themselves. I believe that for students to achieve success, they must feel safe, take risks, and make mistakes." She does this in so many different ways. One thing that's coming to my mind right now is just how she prepares the physical environment. She has a tremendous amount of flexible seating that allows the children to, of course, be themselves and take risks and make mistakes. Building positive relationships with and among students is the foundation of my teaching philosophy. And again, she won't compliment herself here, but I will. And I'll say that she accomplishes that also by visiting them outside of school, attending religious ceremonies, sports outside of school, again, furthering her relationship with the children. She closes by saying, "Above all, I want to see each and every one of my students grow in all aspects of their lives. I feel lucky to play an important role in the social, emotional, and academic growth of my fantastic first graders." Meredith often says that she believes maroon and gold are school colors. I certainly believe that to be the case. Very special congratulations to you, Meredith. Very, very well deserved. And hi to all the mountain lions out there on YouTube. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Mr. Lembo. So carrying the anchor leg of our primary level as befits this man of character, great respect for, and want to introduce Mr. George Rao, the principal of Van Holten School. George.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And the Van Holten community wants to send a sincere congratulations to all of today's special professionals. Our Van Holten's educational service professional is Mrs. Cynthia Lisk. Mrs. Cynthia Lisk has been the school nurse at Van Holten School for 3 of her 19-year career in education. She replaced an outstanding, well-respected school nurse in the fall of 2017 when she joined Bridgewater Raritan. Just a quick story, when we were looking to replace that school nurse, Miss Lisk was one of our subs at the time. And at first she didn't apply, and we had to kind of like encourage her to apply and go through the process. And I'm glad she changed her mind, and I'm glad she joined our team. During this time that she's taken over, Mrs. Lisk's professional contributions has helped to create her own identity as an outstanding, well-respected nurse that is a vital member of Van Holten School. Mrs. Lisk is a caring, dedicated, knowledgeable individual who provides excellent health care to all members of our school community. She is attentive and thorough to anyone who visits her office. Mrs. Lisk is concerned with the physical, mental, and emotional needs of all of our students and faculty. She takes time to call home and keep parents informed of any concerns. As a result, she has excellent rapport with the parents. In addition to treating students in need, Ms. Lisk has excellent listening skills when making phone calls to parents or having conversations with faculty members. She makes notes of expressed concerns and will follow up on issues brought to her attention. It's not uncommon to observe parents visiting Mrs. Lisk just to say hello, as they have formed a comforting and trusting relationship with her. In addition to providing medical care to students at Van Holten School, Mrs. Lisk is actively involved in helping families. Every month, she composes and shares her Healthy Huskies newsletter, which highlights current health issues. She keeps the Van Holten community informed and provides helpful information regarding local events that foster a healthy lifestyle. During the holiday season, she will organize food drives and gift collections. She strives to help Van Holten families who may be financially struggling or simply could just use a little help. Ms. Lisk also collaborates with the Girl Scout leaders when projects arise that can benefit others in need. She serves as a liaison for the Somerset County Food Bank and other local charities. She is truly an advocate for others in need. Mrs. Lisk is a dedicated professional who truly takes pride in her job. She's a hard worker who provides a safe environment for all students and faculty. Due to her nurturing approach, individuals are very comfortable visiting her office. We are extremely lucky to have Mrs. Lisk as our school nurse. The Van Holten School community is proud to recognize Mrs. Lisk as our Educational Services Professional of the Year. Congratulations, Mrs. Lisk. I'm very proud of you. Our Governor's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Courtney Knevy. Mrs. Courtney Knevy is a 4th grade special education teacher who is truly a special teacher at Van Holten School. Ms. Knevy has had multiple teaching assignments during her 10-year career here at Bridgewater Raritan. In every single one, Mrs. Knevy has found a way to positively impact all of her students. Her students and their parents love her and hold her in the highest esteem. Mrs. Knevy's teaching style and techniques motivate all students to learn. She is extremely encouraging and makes learning fun. On a daily basis, Mrs. Knevy creates differentiated lessons for her students so they meet their maximum potential and be successful learners. Her students, with her guidance, set realistic academic goals and develop a plan to achieve. Student performance is continually assessed by the student as well as Mrs. Knevy. Data collected is used to develop the next steps to reach the end goal. She develops meaningful modifications that allow her students to feel comfortable while learning concepts. Her students are enthusiastic to take risks and realize that making mistakes are part of the learning process. Many times she can be found eating lunch with a student to discuss academics and or build their relationship. Ms. Kenevi also communicates daily with parents through emails, written notes, phone calls, in-person conferences, and communication logs. As Ms. Kenevi states, I have the opportunity to work with students who have a variety of disabilities, needs, and abilities. While good teachers always start the school year with a plan, outstanding teachers realize the need to modify their plan to ensure the success of their students and the classroom. As an educator, it is my role to understand how each of my students learns best and how to tailor the material to their individual learning needs and abilities. I believe that all students are capable of learning. It is my job to create an environment where my students feel safe to learn. They need acceptance, love, and nurturing from a teacher, especially if school is the only place they're receiving these needs. Throughout my years of teaching, I've been able to help students meet these needs by providing them with a smile, a compliment, a listening ear, and so much more. Knowing that their teacher is someone they can trust and feel supported by, they then are available in learning. Mrs. Kenevi is a master of getting her students to believe in themselves. At the end of any school year, students leave her classroom with the confidence that they can meet any challenge. The Van Holten School community is extremely proud to have Mrs. Courtney Kenevi as a member of its faculty and is excited to recognize her today as our Governor's Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Mrs. Kenevi. I'm so proud of you, and we are lucky to have you. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. And leaving our primaries, moving on to our intermediate. One of the most positive and optimistic people I've ever met, and he brings that to his job as principal of Eisenhower School every single day, Mr. Joe Diskin. Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Russ. Good afternoon, Bridgewater Raritan. It is my pleasure to recognize Mrs. Amanda Disbrow as the Educator Services Professional Award recipient. Amanda Disbrow is one of the best teaching assistants we've ever had at Eisenhower Intermediate School. Her talents, positive attitude, confidence, and kindness add exponentially to the classroom environment and benefits the classroom teacher and the students. She's deeply committed to the success and academic, social, and emotional growth of children. Her smile represents who she is, and her happy nature shines through each day and adds to our positive school climate and culture. Mrs. Disbrow helps tailor lessons to the students' needs and assists students with especially challenging assignments. She also monitors and records a student's progress or behavior in an effort to better meet a student's needs. Amanda works closely with the classroom teacher to prepare lessons that best fit the needs of their students. She supports the classroom teacher and participates in sessions meant to enhance student performance and educational delivery. She's really like having a second teacher in the classroom because of her talents, dedication, and her love of children. Amanda understands the uniqueness of every child and shows patience and understanding when working with them. She's able to articulate information clearly to make it easily understandable for the students. She's a good listener, which is essential to understand what students wish to communicate. We are grateful to have a person and educator like Amanda as part of our Eisenhower School family. Our students truly benefit from Amanda's positive presence each and every day. Amanda, we're very proud of you and we love you. Congratulations. It's now my pleasure to recognize Mrs. Jennifer Johnson as Eisenhower School's Governor Educator of the Year. Jennifer Johnson is a fabulous special education teacher who consistently looks for the good in people, situations, and herself. She comes from a place of kindness, optimism, and hope, and these qualities shine through in all of her professional responsibilities. She is a team player who always steps up when our school needs her and her talents. As a teacher who is highly qualified in all subject areas, Jennifer is asked to teach a variety of subjects as a resource teacher or providing in-class support, and always does so with commitment, style, and class. This shows her confidence and flexibility as an educator to bring her best to any and all situations. Our school and students benefit from this, and the result is continued growth and success for the students she touches each and every year. Mrs. Johnson's classroom and learning environment promotes fun, growth, and a sense of community. She builds trusting relationships with students in order to create that safe, positive, and productive learning environment. Her incredible classroom instruction is coupled with the dynamic learning environment and makes her classroom a place where students enjoy the learning. Our students thoroughly enjoy participating in her classroom program because of her enthusiasm towards the subject matter and also because of her positive attitude. Jennifer truly respects and enjoys working with the children, and the feeling is mutual. As one student said to me, Mrs. Johnson is always there for me. She gets me and knows what I need, not only as a student, but as a person. In Jennifer's words, I was not sure of my career path when I was in high school. I was very invested in athletics, where I learned to put forth hard work, dedication, and perseverance in any task I took on. When I graduated high school, I started working at a special education school, and although it was unlike any task I had taken on before, I tackled the opportunity head on with the same skills that I developed during my athletic career. Immediately, I felt that I belonged in this environment. I was making connections with students and finding ways to meet their academic and social and emotional needs, and received feedback about the positive impact I was making for the students. I realized there was no question that becoming an educator was what I was meant to do. As I've embarked on my teaching career, I feel that teaching and learning belong hand in hand. I learn just as much from my students as I hope they learn from me, and this learning is not solely focused on academics, but skills that will be with them for a lifetime. My classroom is one of mutual respect and cooperation and perseverance. Each student brings their own unique strengths to the classroom, and one of my roles as an educator is to help students discover how they learn best so that they can use that information to build on their roles as lifelong learners. One aspect that I stress to my students is that we do not have to know all the answers, but through hard work, dedication, and perseverance, we can begin to find those answers to gain a greater understanding of our world. I feel so fortunate to be a member of the Eisenhower School community. Everyone within the school plays a role in creating a safe and supportive environment for staff and students alike. The messages of positivity, confidence, and optimism have spread throughout our staff, and in turn, the students become a way of life at Eisenhower School. This has created an environment where every individual feels important and valued. And this is one of the many reasons Eisenhower School is a place that I enjoy coming to every day. Jen, the Eisenhower School is very, very proud of you, and you're so deserving of this award. The award for all of us is that we have the opportunity to work with you, Jennifer, each and every day. We're very proud of you. We love you. Congratulations. Russ, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Diskin. And now, moving across town but staying on the intermediate level, the man with the golden baritone, an ensemble performer in BR the World, and the principal of Hillside Intermediate School, Mr. William Ferry. Will.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. And hello, everyone. On behalf of Hillside School, congratulations to all recipients this evening. I'm proud to recognize Maria Grewal as Hillside's Educational Services Professional of the Year. Maria Grewal has been enriching the lives of her students, not only at Hillside, but in the district since 1998. Mrs. Grewal is a hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated educator. She works tirelessly with the ELL students to meet their individual language goals and help them to achieve success in the given content area. Mrs. Grewal presents her lessons in a comfortable and inviting manner so that the students are actively engaged in the instruction. Her students look forward to their time with Mrs. Grewal, whether a push in or pull out, and often the students are eager for more time with their teacher. Outside of the classroom, Mrs. Grewal is actively involved in the life of Hillside School. She's a member of both our Roots and Shoots and Hawk Life committees. One will find Mrs. Grewal at school events such as the ESL Family Nights or working behind the scenes, assisting at the Forest Fest Carnival. When asked about Mrs. Grewal, her ESL students had plenty of kind words for their teacher. One student wrote that Mrs. Grewal is honest and kind person. She always helps everyone and she corrects our mistakes. She's really the best teacher. Another student was quite succinct, stating that Mrs. Grewal gives us another chance if we do something wrong. In the words of Mrs. Grewal, I believe that the goal of education is to prepare each student to make sense of the world they live in and to help them become well-informed and responsible global citizens. To this end, the teacher has the responsibility to not only provide a safe learning environment and perspectives, but also recognize and address each student's unique learning style and needs. Maria Grewal is a consummate professional, and we are highly fortunate to have her as part of our Hillside team. Congratulations, Mrs. Grewal. And now, Hillside's Teacher of the Year, Mr. John Hingelberg. Mr. Hingelberg is the kind of teacher students will remember for the rest of their lives. Mr. Hingelberg is hardworking, fun, creative, and bright. His English language arts classroom instruction is top rate, and his students make exceptional academic strides. Mr. Hingelberg's classroom is lively, and students are actively engaged, whether performing slam poetry, presenting their mystery bags, or simply reading and writing. Mr. Hingelberg's students are involved. The academic atmosphere in Mr. Hingelberg's classroom is contagious. His students truly work to meet his high standards, as evidenced by data such as consistent, strong SGP scores and overall student success. Yet Mr. Hingelberg's influence does not stop there. Mr. Hingelberg goes out of his way to try to make a positive impact on the lives of each of his students. For one example, Mr. Hingelberg was approached by the counselor to mentor a challenging student this past school year. Not only was this student doing poorly in school, but his home life was extremely difficult. The student was heading downhill fast. Without hesitation, Mr. Hingelberg went to work immediately. During any available opportunity, Mr. Hingelberg began to spend time with this student, organizing fun challenges, for instance, and definitely serving as a positive role model. As a current student states, one of the reasons I like Mr. Hingelberg is because he is always making people happy, even on a Monday. Another student exclaimed, "You are awesome and will always be the best." Overall, Mr. Hingelberg has found interesting ways to create a classroom environment where students feel comfortable learning, being themselves, and safe to take risks. Additionally, Mr. Hingelberg is actively involved in the extracurricular life of Hillside School. He can be found playing in the annual staff volleyball game, collecting recyclables at our celebrity chef competition, or even getting wet in the dunk tank at Hillside's Roots and Shoots Forest Fest Carnival. Mr. Hingelberg is a go-to staff member, unselfishly volunteering his time and efforts and providing assistance whenever asked. Few can rival his enthusiasm, energy, and dependability. Mr. Hingelberg believes that effective communication leads people towards abundant life. Learning and applying skills connected to reading, writing, speaking, and listening is pivotal in establishing meaningful relationships. Mr. Hingelberg continues, "My aim is to create a world of fullness and love through serving others in school and beyond." On behalf of the entire Hillside School community, I'm very proud to nominate John Hingelberg as Hillside's Intermediate Schools Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. And Russ, back to you.
Thanks, Will. Moving on to the middle level. Having been here only a short amount of time, but having made a huge impact and a hugely positive impact, I want to turn the microphone over to Miss Christina Steffner, our principal at Bridgewater Raritan Middle School. Chris.
Thanks, Russ. On behalf of everyone at the middle school, we want to congratulate every recipient that is being honored here today for all of your hard work. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the Middle School Educational Service Professional of the Year, Suzanne Gagan. Suzanne has served as an exceptionally skilled and dedicated school counselor in the Bridgewater-Raritan School District for the past 21 years, 20 of them at the middle school. She has the respect and admiration of students, parents, and her colleagues. She exemplifies the characteristics of the kind of school counselor every student should be lucky enough to encounter during their middle school years. Suzanne is very proactive in meeting the needs of her students, and she understands that they all come to her with different needs. She works closely with the families of her students and helps to set up individual plans so that they can all be successful. This school year, she instituted a lunch bunch to help students work through issues that they were having in the cafeteria. Students, parents, and staff all know that they can turn to Suzanne with any concerns that they have throughout the school year. In addition, she stays very active in the overall school community. She facilitated the Turkey Trot fundraiser to help feed our needy families. She attends all school events, coordinates trips and career day, in addition to her daily functions as a counselor. In Suzanne's own words, she enjoys being with the middle school students because they are unpredictable. She knows that they all are at different points of their journey, and it is very challenging, and she loves the challenge to meet them where they are. She attempts to be visible in their lives and be an active and productive and positive role model for them. She always tries to make sure that she is positive with them, and she indicates that they also have had a great influence in making her the counselor that she is today. Her hope is that her students will always know that she is there for them and that she is their biggest cheerleader in all aspects of their life. When I think of Suzanne, I think of the words of Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Suzanne makes her students feel important. They know that they matter to her, and that's why they are so fond of her. Due to her methods of meeting students' needs, her community involvement, her rapport with students, parents, and staff, and the dedication to the educational profession, Suzanne is very deserving of this honor, and we are very fortunate to have her at Bridgewater-Raritan Middle School. Congratulations, Suzanne. It is now my honor to introduce our Teacher of the Year from the middle school. Bridgewater-Raritan Middle School is proud to recognize Jessica Stout as the 2020 Teacher of the Year. Jess has taught middle school special education students for the past 17 years, all of them at the middle school. She is an expert in the field who inspires students of all backgrounds and abilities to learn. All students, parents, and colleagues display respect and admiration for her. She has a quiet strength and a passion and never looks for credit for all that she does. Jess believes that her students need many opportunities outside the traditional classroom to reach their full potential, and she is constantly brainstorming new ideas to provide them with those new experiences. These experiences take extra time and effort beyond the regular school day to plan and to carry out. Jess willingly and without hesitation gives that extra effort and energy to ensure that all of the students not only participate, but enjoy and thrive in the activity. Buddy basketball, buddy volleyball, the school store, Special Olympics, social club, Fairview Lake and Hershey Park trips, community-based instruction trips, school-based jobs, cooking, peer recreation trips, all of these opportunities and more are afforded to our students due to Jess's dedication. In her words, she always knew that she was going to be a teacher, and she feels extremely fortunate to be working in the same school for so many years with so many talented staff who she has learned from. Even though she's been at the same school, she says that every day is so different. But what brings her the greatest joy is when she watches students take a risk that they never would have taken before, when she gets to collaborate with her colleagues, and when she witnesses the school community coming together and embracing learners of all abilities. It's a joy and makes every day special, she says. It's what makes her look forward to the day ahead and wonder each morning what's going to happen today. As Todd Whitaker says, the best thing about being a teacher is that it matters. The hardest thing about being a teacher is that it matters every day. Our students are lucky to have Jessica, and she is truly deserving of this honor. Congratulations, Jess, for the great job that you do every day for our students. And now back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Chris. And now we move on to our high school and the gentleman with the deep bass who brought his family to BR the World in his ensemble performance, and the principal of BRHS, Dr. Charles Ezell. Charles.
Thank you very much. First, let me say congratulations to all of those honored tonight. It is an extraordinary honor to be selected by your colleagues as excellent. And that's particularly true for the two folks I'm going to talk about tonight. The high school has 328 faculty and staff, and to be identified as exceptional out of that large and skilled group of people is really an honor indeed. And so the first person I'd like to talk about is our BRHS Governor Educational Service Professional of the Year, James Porter. Dr. Porter is indefatigable, inclusive, determined, and generous. His interactions with colleagues, students, and their families is rooted in deep caring and extraordinary professionalism. Operating from a student-centered ideology, he is motivated to make a difference in the lives of our students, and he does. He views these young adults not only as students, but also as citizens of the wider world, and through his work, resources them with the tools and skills they need to navigate an often frenetic world. Dr. Porter is an alumni of Rutgers University with an undergraduate degree in marketing and psychology and a doctoral degree in psychology. Dr. Porter initially served young adults with serious mental illness at the Bonnie Brae School, as well as Job Corps. He also worked for the Juvenile Bipolar Research Foundation. Dr. Porter arrived at BRHS in May of 2008 as a school psychologist and case manager on the child study team, working with students with disabilities. Recently, his role has transitioned to that of one focused on mental health support and counseling at BRHS. We're fortunate to have him. Candidly, I often lean on Jim's broad shoulders and rely on his depth of knowledge and expertise when it comes to our most difficult and taxing times. When told that he was receiving this honor, Dr. Porter shared his some thoughts. He said, "I am honored and grateful to receive the Governor's Educational Service Professional Award for Bridgewater Raritan High School this year. When I decided to pursue advanced degrees in psychology at Rutgers University, I knew that I wanted a career that would serve two purposes. It would be focused on helping people cope with mental illness and inspiring enough to keep me enjoying the work that I do each day. I believe I'm fortunate to say that I've not only achieved both of those goals, but I've gained so much more than that by working at a high school in a district that has allowed me to evolve and innovate in order to help students in a variety of ways. As a psychologist providing counseling to students with IEPs, I find it incredibly rewarding to help young adults build personal and academic skills that will hopefully apply to the rest of their lives after they graduate. I have also found I am doing my best work when I'm also being creative and providing advocacy for certain issues. So I try to put additional time and effort into consulting with staff about mental health issues in their classrooms and designing new programs that help students find safety, growth, and success at school. Over the years, I've helped to create study halls that assist students with time management skills, a lunch period program that provides an alternative space for students who are overwhelmed or anxious in the cafeteria, an after-school student committee that focuses on student mental health issues, and an after-school program that provides students with a structured space to do homework and receive teacher support. My goal each day at work is to give my best effort to help as many students and staff as I can, and to create a space on a large campus where students feel they are safe, that they are comfortable with sharing their challenges, and they know that someone will help them find ways to manage their stress. Receiving this award helps me feel that I am achieving my goal, and it provides another space for me to advocate and express to everyone that mental health is a critical issue We need to work together to identify kids that need support, help them cope with their challenges, and teach them the skills that build self-confidence and the capacity to find happiness and success during the rest of their lives. Thank you, Jim. On behalf of our entire community, we are honored to have you as our Educational Service Professional of the Year. Congratulations. I now get to move on to our BRHS Governor Teacher of the Year recipient, who is Judy Rafel. Ms. Rafel is an exemplar of an outstanding educator, and our community is fortunate to have her dedication and expertise serve our students in the Family and Consumer Science Department for 19 years now. If you ever had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Rafel, you will know she's a born teacher. As a matter of fact, as a young child, she taught her stuffed animals. As a high school student, she was a Sunday school teacher, summer recreation worker, and a supervisor. Professionally, Ms. Rafel started teaching in preschool in 1990 at North Branch Preschool and stayed there for 10 years. In 2001, she came to work at BRHS and has served the community's high school and preschool children ever since. She has taught culinary arts, but has spent the majority of her career teaching family and child. This is a course where community preschoolers come to the high school for a class, either in the morning or in the afternoon. The class is taught by our high school students, and while they teach, Ms. Rafel provides oversight and offers the high schoolers guidance and feedback. The high school students she works with are those interested in pursuing a career in education. They couldn't have a better teacher. Oh, and to be clear, she still has animals in her classroom, though now they are real bunnies and other critters that the little kids love. I often pop in, or I try to often pop into Judy's classroom. And what I find is that she still loves BRHS and she loves what she does. And it's not surprising that everyone respects her and that she received this award. When she learned that she received this, she commented that my motivation as an educator is to help students be as successful as they can and want to be. I try to help them become kind and respectful individuals. I love to see the change in the high school students from the time they enter the family and consumer classroom to the end of the semester when they become outstanding preschool teachers. I am honored to receive this award. It means that everything that led me to this point in my career has been successful. Becoming the Teacher of the Year is because of all the people in my life that have helped me along the way. I have a fantastic coworkers and 20 great students. All of my people have made me who I am today. They say that it takes a village to raise a child, but I think it takes a village to create a good teacher. Judy, we are lucky to have you, and I am privileged to say that you are the BRHS Governor's Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. And to both of you, I would like to say how much, I would like to say that the coveted parking spots at the high school, they're in good repair and they're waiting for your return. I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Lazovic for a closing of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Uzel, and thank you, everyone. I have to say that I find myself saying that phrase more than ever to our staff. I do think, and I hope that I've always said it to our staff, but there are times like this, especially over the past few months, when the words thank you truly just are not enough. And I struggle to find any words to convey to our staff and specifically to the honorees that we've celebrated tonight, just how special and important they are. I have been told that the most challenging arithmetic to master is the accurate calculation of the depth and wonder of the blessings that are bestowed upon us. And I cannot imagine a more apt sentiment, because it would truly be impossible for us to try and calculate in any manner just how important those we have honored today are to their students, to their colleagues, and to the larger BR community. This global pandemic has changed so many perspectives, and for many, it has increased or affirmed just how important educators are. I'm proud to say that that's actually not the case here in Bridgewater, Raritan. This ceremony is just one example of how this BR community has always valued its educators. In a district where so much goes so well so often, it would be easy to become complacent and lose perspective, expecting this caliber of expertise and professionalism every day in and out. But that's not the case here in BR. We appreciate how fortunate we are to have educators like these. To the honorees, even under these unprecedented conditions, you exemplify everything that an educator should be. You are our role models, and we are grateful that you chose this community, this district. We have all the trappings and gifts that go along with this recognition. If you can visit Wade, they're actually set up and waiting for you, but otherwise, don't fret. We will get them to you when this is over and we see each other face to face again. I thank you all. I congratulate you all, and I hope you stay safe and well. We need you each and every day. I want to thank our principals, everyone in the background for putting this event on. It is special. We wanted to make sure that we honored those. It is so important. Thank you to everybody out there in cyberspace for joining us today. This will be posted on the YouTube site. So if anyone missed it, they can certainly go back, read the chat comments, which have been wonderful, and hear again just how exceptional the people who work in Bridgewater Raritan are. I hope everyone stays safe and that this district continues to focus on its core mission, helping one and all and always leading the way. Please stay safe. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.